Hey guys, what's up? This is going to be a vlog, and I actually wanted to directly put this out there. It's going to be a video response. One of the guys I watch all the time on GameBreaker TV, Mike B, aka Phony, came out, and I know he's a big Mass Effect guy. And he actually came out and talked about the ending of Mass Effect and proposed something that I thought I was the only one. And, just to let you know, this contains a stupid amount of spoilers. If you don't want any Mass Effect spoilers at all, don't watch this. If you watch it past, like, right now, like Mike was saying with his, if you watch it past right now, it's your own fault. I'm going to be talking about the endings of Mass Effect 3, as well as some of the plots and stuff. If you don't want any of that, do not watch this. Do not watch this at all. Go away. And if you do watch this and then bitch about it, I'm not dealing with it. So anyway, there's a few things I actually did want to talk about pertaining to Mike B's theory, right? So his big theory is it's a dream, and to put it in summary, the idea is at the end of Mass Effect 3, right? You're running downhill in this epic scene, and a Harbinger comes and starts shooting lasers at you to stop you from reaching the portal to get to the Citadel, so you can activate the Crucible, right? And you're like, okay, yep, all right, this is epic, and you go there. And Mike discussed this, and I totally agree with him. It could just be BioWare, we hate you, this was stupid, why didn't you put a bigger part for Harbinger in the game? Or it could be, it was a dream, because you're running down the hill, right, and you're taking laser beams and stuff, and it's crazy, really well done, and then Harbinger comes down, and Harbinger, assuming control, always talking to you. Even in the Arrival DLC, he had like this big speech, and he was like, no, you don't know what you're dealing with, and all this other crap. So it's like, why didn't he say anything? Even like one thing, like at Arrival, all I did was take out a mass relay, and he gave me like a whole 3-minute speech about how I was, opposing the nothing. So why didn't he say anything right in? Because we don't even really see him throughout Mass Effect 3. And he was a big plot guy. He dominated the collectors, right? So that's a little sketchy. That's a little sketchy, right? So I was like, okay. Weird, maybe, I don't know. And then a good point that Mike brought up, and I do want to thank you for this, Mike, because I didn't even think about this, is the plot holes. For those of you who have played the Arrival DLC, you crash an asteroid into a Mass Effect relay to stop the Reaper invasion, or delay it, rather. And in doing so, you blow up an entire space system. The Batarian space is poof. And if you did do some of the side quests and stuff, there's a couple rogue Batarians who were like, there's nothing left. You destroyed everything. It was bigger than we thought. So it's like, okay, so when we activate the Crucible, the energy is going to go all over the galaxy map and destroy all the relays in the process. You're destroying the relays. That means everything gets blown up for the most part. So that didn't really make sense. Didn't really coincide with how everything was going to work. Another thing that really got me, like really got me, involved my romance, right, and my squad mate. So I was playing it on Insanity. I didn't get the best ending, although I did have most of the resources and stuff. And for those of you who haven't seen the best ending, you can look it up here on YouTube. But what happens is, after you do the final scene, you zoom out, and Shepard, you see his N7 armor, and he's got like a dog tag here, and he's lying in the rubble, and his shoulder moves, and then it blacks out. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a little weird. And I didn't get that one. You have to do like everything perfect, and I was just trying to blow through it on spring break. And I could have done a little bit more, put some multiplayer characters in that and all that. That's what I've been doing here, you see. But it showed that Shepard was still like alive and kicking, I guess. I mean, the one thing that bothered me, I don't know if this is because it's a dream or if this is just because it makes me angry, is my squad mates, right? I was playing on Insanity, so I wanted control. So I had Liara with me, and I had Garrus, and I used them for most of the game. Now, when you're running down that hill, you see them running with you. Like, you're all running towards this. And they're the people that would just sit behind and wait. They'd be running down there based on their whole attitude. They'd be going with me to stop the Reapers. When you're running, you don't see them. And I was like, okay, where'd my squad go, right? If I survived, surely my squad did. So my first thought was, oh my god, Liara's dead. We just talked about having babies, and now she's dead. Because when you first get on Earth and you clear the first main point, you're walking through, and you get to talk with all your squad mates. Kind of, say, hey, this is the last leg. No. And if you're, well, with me, I was romancing Liara, and you walk up to her, and she's, so this is it, no. You hug and you kiss, and then she talks about this thing that Asari do. She has a gift for you. So you hold hands and put your heads together. It's like that freaky mind sex thing again. And she flashes out to when, like, the two of you guys met, and then, you flash back, and you say, I love you, and then they talk about, Shepard makes a joke. I guess all of our little blue babies can't run around or something. It's a small joke. And I was like, oh, wow, they're going to have a kid, or they're going to have kids after this all is over. And when she died, I was like flipping out, because I was like, no, BioWare, why? And then when you go out and you go back and it zooms out, and then the final scene after you've done whatever choice you do, Normandy crashes, which again makes absolutely no sense, and I'll discuss that here in a minute. But Normandy crashes, and I chose synthesis, right? Synthesizing organic and synthetic DNA into a new DNA, so everyone could live. Because, like, I saved the Geth. The Geth helped my ass. I wasn't gonna kill them. Like, they were one of the big turning points, right? Legion, like one of my favorite characters, sacrificed himself to give them all a unique personality, like, in their individual bodies. So I was like, alright, well, I can't do that. And I wasn't going to try to control him, because the elusive man's crazy, and he was totally indoctrinated in the dream. So I was like, okay, this will be interesting. So I was going through this, and it's just plot hole. I think the only thing and Mike, when Mike, this is to you, when you specifically talked about the kid, right? Because you go up and there's the Crucible, and you talk to the Catalyst, and the Catalyst is this kid, and it's the kid that you see in the first scene. It was actually in the demo. The kid that gets killed, right, by the Reapers. And he gets killed, and you're like, oh no, sad face, and it's pretty bad. And you see him throughout all of your dreams, because you have multiple dreams when you're playing through the game, and it's you chasing this kid, and you can never save him. In the final dream, I don't know if people had this, if they didn't romance anybody or whatever, but when you're going to the Cerberus base at the end to initialize, like, the final battle, you go there, and your romance companion sleeps with you. So, like, Liara came with me. She's like, no, let's, show me you love me. You finally say I love you, and that whole scene. And then you have the dream. You go back into the dream, and you walk up, and you see you, like, you in your the casual garb, like I'm wearing right now, your, like, casual garb, holding the kid, and you both burn. I don't know what that's supposed to symbolize, but, you wake up, and Liara's like, are you okay? I can't sleep again. And you're like, no. But you both burn. So the one thing that, Mike said was, these dreams, right? They're all dreams, and then the kid's the catalyst in the end, so it's just a dream. It's a dream to Shepard, trying to figure out, like, what he or she is supposed to do. And that makes perfect sense. I could totally understand that. And a lot of people are going to be like, no, you did bull. You just had a terrible ending. BioWare's stupid. No. But the other way you could take it too, Mike, specifically, is you have this dream, right? And in the beginning, you see the kid. The kid doesn't come with you because everyone's dying, right? Could he have been the catalyst from the catalyst was the kid in the beginning, and he died, and then the catalyst is visiting you in your dreams throughout the entire. So, like, your first dream, the catalyst visits you, and he tells you, no matter what, you can't save everybody. And then he visits you in the second one, same thing, you can't save everybody. And then the third one, he takes you with him. like takes you with him, takes Shepard, and you both burn, and that's like so I guess he could take it both ways. Personally, I'm on the side where it's all a dream, and Shepard's like, no, I'm gonna live, and I want him to live, you know? I want my Shepard to live. Another thing, so that's just a shout out to that. Another thing that I wanted to discuss was the final scene, specifically tying into my romance, right? So Liara was my romance, and going to the Cerberus base at the end. We did it. It was fun, whatever. And she finally says I love you, and you know, that whole shebang. And then I took her through the entire Earth campaign. She said, you know, we made the joke about the blue babies. She did like the mind thing where she shared our memories together, and then we talked about kids. And then she ran to the thing with me, but she didn't actually run with me. She wasn't there. And the fact that I thought she died, so I was like, okay, well, God, that sucks. So when I died, I wasn't too like worried. I was like, okay, well, we're all meeting a fitting end, and everything's gonna work. And the one thing that I see, right, is at the end, the Normandy, right, is on the Battle at Earth, right? It flies you in, lands you in a shuttle, and then goes back to fight in the fleet. It's, you know, pretty simple. And there, all the carnage is going on and stuff. But not once do you ever say Joker, or hear Joker, you know, say, I'm leaving the solar system. And if you look at that cutscene specifically, he's doing a Mass Effect jump. Now, sure, he could have been like, oh my god, the Crucible's going to kill everybody. I need to jump out of here, and then got stuck in it. But it makes you think it's a dream, at least in my opinion, because Mass Effect relays blow up, right? They kaboom. And it destroys the Mass Effect relays in the process of doing whatever it does. And that would have destroyed the Normandy. But the Normandy crash lands, and you know, it's this, like, the leaves have like little synthetic material in them and stuff for my ending. But then what ticked me off is Liara, right? My companion, who was running down that slope with me, right? Was running down that slope with me, walks out. And like your romance walks out and stands next to Joker, and in mine it was Joker and Edie because they were both alive, and stands next to him and looks out on the horizon, and that was it. And I was like, okay, plot hole. And these plot holes, they're things that really don't make sense. Because, you know, BioWare, yeah, they have a few plot holes with some of the minor things. They had one with the book. But they normally don't make this big of a mistake. And that's plain obvious. You know, anyone, like, I could have my dad come down here, who's never played Mass Effect in his life, come down here, watch it, and be like, that makes absolutely no sense. You know? And it was a little weird that they would do that big of a mistake. Because Liara's there, she's getting burned by Sovereign, or not Sovereign, Harbinger, as we're running down the hill. She died! So that's why I'm skeptical. And, you know, I'm totally on board with what Mike said, you know. Maybe it's like it's a moral dream or something like that, in the sense that Shepard's like, you know, he's had so much, or at least mine did, had so much like weighing down on him, right? And as I'm talking to my crew, because I did every discussion with my crew, but as I'm talking to my crew, I'm talking with my romance partner Liara and everything, all of them are always saying, you need to get, like, Garrus literally told me one time, he's like, Shepard, you need to go get some sleep, you know? You need to get some sleep because you can't handle this. And I'm Paragon, so I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Went and got sleep, and that was one of the dreams. So I'm totally on board with this whole idea as a dream. The whole ending is a dream, and we're gonna get a DLC or something, and we're gonna wake up, right? And we're gonna be stuck in that rubble, and something else is gonna kind of fulfill it. And, you know, another thing, it's subtle, but when you do actually wake up, listen to the soundtrack. And it's subtle, but it's something I noticed. If you listen to the soundtrack, what would I compare it to? Okay, Mike, you'll get this one. When you're going down, it's all epic, right? You're sprinting down, it's all epic, and you're running, and explosions and stuff. And then it goes boom, black, right? And then you look up at the sky and you see the thing, and it plays like it's a soundtrack, and it's like a, how do I, okay, in World of Warcraft, right, when you die and you're by the spirit healer, it's like that kind of echoey spirit healer noise. I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's like echoey. You hear all these echoes, and if you go back and you play it again, that's exactly what you hear. And I don't know if that's because you're in a dream, or that's how I took it. Because you're in a dream, or if that's just because everything is going kaboom around you. I don't know. The dream thing is really interesting, and I could totally see us, waking up and the Crucible working. And another thing you mentioned, Mike, that I really found interesting, and I totally didn't even think of it, is Anderson, right? He says, you go up, and he says he comes up behind you. There's only one beam. And when I did go out, I did explore, because he said, I see these weird shifting things, and you walk out, and you're looking, and there's one terminal, right? The way it is like, this is the terminal, right? And you're walking up this way, right? And if you look out, it's a big circular thing. And there's no other walkway in the circular. Like, I walked what I could, and there's no other walkway. And if the terminal's here, and this is the only way to get to it, and Anderson came out behind you, that logically, that makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. And the thing with the elusive man was the only reason that I kind of took it as this is reality. Because the catalyst, I totally took it as a dream. Totally took the catalyst as a dream. I was like, okay, it's this kid I've been seeing in my dreams. I can't take him seriously, right? And then if I'll get to that. I'll talk about the catalyst in a minute. He's this kid in the dream that you can't take seriously, and you're like, okay, whatever. And then Anderson just goes there, and he's there. He just beats you there, and he's already at the terminal. So that was weird. But now, okay, one thing I wanted to talk about is the catalyst. Now, one thing I did do is I did every single conversation dialogue option with my squad, right, to talk about them. And in one of the conversation dialogues with it was Liara or Javik, the Prothean, and you bring them with you, because when I was talking to the Prothean VI, I had Javik and Liara. And Javik was blabbing to the Prothean VI or whatever, and the Prothean VI was like, he was talking about it, he's like, the Crucible works with the catalyst. And I was like, okay. And then Javik was like, well, what is the catalyst? And the Prothean VI said, this is not verbatim, this is just, the Prothean VI said, the catalyst is the one piece of Reaper technology that has been left behind. And I was like, okay, what is that? And Liara was like, it has to be the Citadel. And then Javik was like, yes. And the Prothean VI said, yes, which you guys in this cycle consider the Citadel is the catalyst, the key to running the Crucible. So when you go up and you're talking to the catalyst, the little floaty ghost boy, it makes no. I don't consider it a big plot hole, but it makes absolutely no sense that the Prothean VI says the catalyst is the Citadel, and then this little boy's like, no, it's not the Citadel, I'm the catalyst. So I don't know, is that a plot hole? Open for question. I honestly, I'm curious what you guys have to say. But is that a plot hole? Because if in that dialogue, Liara and Javik and the Prothean VI were talking about it, saying the Citadel, the Reaper, like the Central Reaper tech, is the catalyst. That's what the catalyst is. And you plug them together, and it makes a big boom to take care of the Reapers. It's the only way to kill the Reaper. That's what the Prothean VI said. I mean, this isn't a major plot hole. I've said that numerous times. It's a minor plot hole, but still. I don't know. I saw that as a plot hole. I don't know if everyone else would, but that's how I saw it. I don't know. I'm getting tired. It is like 3 in the morning. But, Mike, what I wanted to say is, I totally agree with your idea that it's a dream. And I totally think that in a DLC they're going to be like, yo, Shepard's back, he's not dead, it was all a dream. And then you're going to finish the fight. The only reason, the big reason that I'm sitting on this is based around my Liara romance, which I was talking about earlier. I mean, it just makes no sense. It really doesn't. And BioWare would not put that obvious of a plot hole in in their final video game, in the Mass Effect series. So that was skeptical for me, based on all my dialogue with Liara, as well as Javik and the Prothean VI. I don't see how, that's gonna do anything. I really don't. And then if you remember, if you're talking to the Prothean VI, there's no mention about the mass relays going kaboom ever. So I don't know what that could be, but I just thought interesting how they would do this. Honestly, I'm disappointed this was the ending. And if we do get a DLC and they're like, hey, Shepard isn't dead, it was like, okay, that would tick me off. Yeah, just to answer the question that you asked at the end there, Mike, that would tick me off. And another reason that hints at that is if you actually watch some of Casey Hudson's interviews, right? There's one on IGN's Start channel. If you haven't watched it, you should, Mike, because you'll totally understand what I'm talking about here. And viewers too, you totally will. What I saw was, this is literally what Casey Hudson said. He was like, so Shepard's story is over, how are you going to continue it? Casey Hudson said, well, we know that people are going to want to jump back in and play as Shepard. And immediately I was like, what? He's saying people are going to jump back in and play as Shepard. And then he continued saying, and that's gonna be in DLC. And I was like, what? And then the second this whole dream thing, because I was skeptical about the dream thing, but the second you started talking about it, Mike, I was like, light bulb. He said people are going to want to play as Shepard again. And Shepard is going to... How does that... Oh no. Maybe it makes sense. So, I don't know. Anyway, though, I feel like I've gone on enough rant. I know I'm not as organized as Mike was in his video. And if you... I'm going to post this as a video response. But if you haven't seen his video, watch it. And then come watch this, because this is just a response to what he was talking about in some of his series, as well as some of mine, as far as Mass Effect 3 goes. I am going to go back through, and I'm not playing on Insanity anymore, I'm playing on Normal, but I'm going to go back through and I'm going to make sure I do everything. Actually went through a playthrough, I didn't even know who Diana Allers was, Jessica Chobot's character, and everyone was like, do you hate that Alliance News reporter? I was like, what Alliance News reporter? So I guess I missed that one. So I'm going to go back through and play this, but college is back in session because break's over, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll keep you guys updated to that. And what do you guys, like Mike said, what are you guys' opinions on this dream theory? I totally buy it. I could totally see it, and it's something that I'm hoping is real, because, the one thing that really ticked me off is you sit and you watch the ending and you're just like, wow, that was really, slim. Even Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 had a better ending than that. I was like, what? Because the way I saw it personally, I was like, okay, I'm going to save Earth. This is all before the big dream thing where you go into the beam. But whatever. I'm going to save Earth, right? The Reapers are going to be destroyed. I'm going to go back. Immediately, we're going to have kids. And then those kids are going to show, something like the last Harry Potter movie, right? Where they put a beard on Daniel Radcliffe and are like, hey, you're now a father. And I was like, hey, no, you're not. You're not 30. But whatever. But I thought you were going to see something like that, and then that was going to be the end. And then whatever they decided to do in the later Mass Effects is going to be like, oh, Shepard's a legend, but it's still going to be the Mass Effect universe. The one thing to consider with this ending is, technically it's cutting Mass Effect forever. I mean, just think about it. If, you synthesize DNA, right? I synthesized regular DNA, or organic with synthetic. Boom. It destroyed every single mass relay. And if it tore apart the Normandy like that, it obviously did damage across the galaxy. So this means, what are we going to do, play Caveman Mass Effect? I don't see it. If they're continuing on doing something with Mass Effect, I don't see how this is going to work. Because if you read their books, you play their games, you play their iPhone games, you read the comic books, everything fits into a perfect puzzle, almost perfect, but a puzzle, and it all makes sense. And for them to just, if they're going to do another Mass Effect game, which Casey Hudson said, he's like, you know, Shepard's story's over, but we're going to continue to mess with the Mass Effect universe. They can't with this. So just think about it. Keep an open mind is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, though, I feel like I've gone on long enough. So I hope you enjoyed the video response. If you have any questions about anything, I'd be happy to answer. Just comment on this video, or get to me on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, whatever. It'd be awesome to hear from you guys. And Mike, if you do watch this, I'm curious what you think about some of my like romance things, because I know you said you kind of flew through it, you tried to get it done, and now you're gonna go back and play it. But I'm curious what your opinion is on some of these, like my Liara romance thing, and all that jazz. But anyway, thanks for the video, dude. I really appreciate it, and gave me, you know, kind of backed up my theory, because I was like, there's no way this is real. And a lot of my friends were just like, no, no, no. I was talking to a fellow game journalist, you know, and he was like, that ending, he like phone rage, and I was like, no, I think it was a dream. He's like, no, it couldn't have been a dream. Mass Effect's over. It's ridiculous. So hopefully this gives some people hope. I don't know. It was a bad ending nonetheless, but something to keep us thinking. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching my video response. I appreciate it. Big shout out. Thanks, Mike, for posting the dream thing that made me want to do this video. Thanks for that. And if you haven't watched any of his stuff, guys, I definitely recommend you do. Game Breaker is awesome, and all of Mike B's stuff. It's so laid back. He does YouTube stuff, and it's great. You should really go check those guys out. I watch them every week, and they're phenomenal at what they do. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Remember to check out my channel if you're into Mass Effect. I do live streams and all that jazz too, so feel free to like my Facebook page, my Twitter, which you just tweet on, my live stream, and all that jazz. It'll be down here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.